What's up, everybody? My name is Jesse, and welcome to the Jess Takes a Village podcast, where we focus on regular people who have used their education, whether it be formal, vocational, or even life experiences, to propel their lives in a positive direction. Now, I only felt that with this being my first introduction to the creative content and, the YouTube space, I figured it was important for you guys to get to know who I am as a person, and hopefully along this journey, I'll get to know who you are. So I want to start off by saying my name is Jesse. I'm a public school teacher for the New York City Department of Education. I teach fifth grade. This Me teaching has been like a dream of mine since as young as I can remember. Um, the funny thing about it is I didn't always want to be a teacher. I actually wanted to go work on Wall Street. Funny thing. And it kind of all started for me when I was about, let's say, 13 years old. Because I was 13, and 13 was a big year for me because I had like my first job illegally, of course. And I was working in like an after school / summer camp, helping out, not working too much hours. And the funny thing about it was that was like the first time I was making, a little bit of money. So naturally, like any 13-year-old boy from Brooklyn, I was spending the money on sneakers like nonstop. Like it was so bad. The retail price was 150 and the taxes brought it up to 163.18. Like that's how bad it was. And listen, I was young, I was dumb, but it's something I wanted to do. And I don't know why it made so much sense to me at that time. But they always say, man, when you set a goal, you go for it. So the funny thing about it was my mom seen me buying all these sneakers. And one day she pulled me to the side and she sat me down and she was like, yo, I want you to watch this program. And I'm looking at this program and it's a little boy in North Carolina doing literally the exact same thing I'm doing. He's using his allowance. He is buying sneakers left and right. And his mom tells him, hey, invest in Nike stock. And he started, investing his money in Nike stock, literally to the point where Nike started sending him sneakers, like boxes full of sneakers. And at 13, I'm like, this is what I need to do. So when I was making my little money from the after school / summer camp, I was making about, I was making about, let's say $300 every 2 weeks, which wasn't bad, but the minimum wage back then was low. And the funny thing about it was I was taking that money every other Friday, sneakers, sneakers, sneakers. And when my mom made me watch the program, I was like, yo, this is it. So I started giving her $100. Mom, I need Foot Locker stock. I need Foot Locker stock. And in my head, my goal was if I bought enough Foot Locker stock, I would never have to buy sneakers again. And as I look back on it now, my mom taught me $1 million skill, but I obviously wasn't using it for good. I was using it for sneakers. And the strangest thing about it was I went to work one day and my boss goes, hey, Jesse, could you help that little kid with his math homework? He had long division. And in my head, I'm just like, all right, whatever, I'll go help him. So I helped him with his long division. Strange thing, he was like a couple years younger than me. And the wildest thing happened. I helped him with the division. His mother came and picked him up. And when his mother came and picked him up, he ran up to me and he said, thank you, Mr. Jesse, hugged me and left. And from that moment, like, it just clicked. Like, it clicked. Like, from that day, I wanted to be a teacher. I can't tell you what it was. I guess because the kid was so happy, maybe because I helped him. But from that day, it's like my whole life trajectory, it just like went the other way. And the strange thing about it was, I always laugh to myself and I go, maybe that kid needs to come back and hug me so I can focus on the money. Because they paying teachers. But it is what it is. But I appreciated that moment. And from 13 all the way up, I just kept telling myself, I want to be a teacher. And even when I got to high school, I had a college advisor whose name I won't mention. And I asked her for a CUNY fee waiver. So if you don't know, a fee waiver is, it's like an application, but it's waived. And you get to apply to all of like the city colleges, because who has money to go to private school? So long story short, she tells me no, like completely. She was like, you're not even graduating. And at 18, I remembered it. And years later, I came back with my associates, my bachelor's, and my master's. So to the advisor that told me I wasn't going to graduate, I came back with 3 of them. But I also look at that moment as that was my I'm going to prove her wrong moment. And I did. But that also played a part into who I became as a person. If you told me I could not do something, I wanted to prove to you that I could do it. It's not the best quality to have, but who's perfect, you know? And the strange thing about it was, as I'm now navigating into this space, I'm not going to say there were people who were just like, well, you can't do a podcast. No, absolutely not. But I'm only saying that I feel like this is my chance again in life to prove to myself that I could jump into a brand new venture. And I just really hope to excel, you know? So me making this podcast, there are podcasts about rappers, celebrity gossip, the weird men who talk down on women, the weird women who talk down to men, the political stuff that some people are just, miseducated about. And I said to myself, what do we have for us? And when I say us, I mean us working class people who get up every day and we make it happen. We get up every day and we push the pavement. This just isn't for the 9 to 5s. This is for the 7 to 3s. This is for the 8 to 4s. This is for the overnight shifts. This is for the midday shifts. This is for the people who work on weekends. This is for the people who bring work home. These are for the people who work the 2 jobs because they're trying to take care of their families. This podcast is for us. If you are not a lazy person, this podcast is for you. If you want to hear stories about like-minded people who want to make change in the world, who have made change, who want to sit there and motivate others, this podcast is for you. It's for you. And I only hope that you enjoy this journey with me and you really get to hear different stories, And for us working class people, we know what it's like. There are days when we don't want to get out of bed. But we also know that moment when we know our lives are going to change for the better. And I'm here so that everybody who will be sitting next to me can share their story. And I only hope that you guys just give it an honest listen. Because this is what we're here for. We're all here to support everybody. We don't job shame. I don't even want to say education shame. If you didn't go to college, so what? I know people who have used nothing but life experiences just to navigate throughout the world. Always remember, it's not how many degrees you have and where you went to school. Sometimes it's how you talk to people. Sometimes it's your attitude. Sometimes it's having a positive outlook on life. And sometimes it's just overall experience. You ever hear the expression, it's not what you do, it's who you know? Those connections you make with people are worth more than any degree. They're worth more than any certification. How you treat people also determines your success in life. And I want you guys to sit there and really dwell on these points. And listen, will we hit the mark 10 out of 10 times? Absolutely not. There'll probably be people in this share where you disagree with them fundamentally. But it's normal to disagree. But as long as we respect everybody and we keep the space open and you guys comment and you guys let me know how you're feeling about the content, listen, I'm here with all of you. So listen, you're welcome to join me on this journey. Let's go through these rods, let's jump these hurdles, and let's really get to know each other. And also remember the support systems. The reason why I named this podcast Jess Takes a Village is because that's what it does. In life, it just takes a village. It takes a village to raise someone. It takes a village to support someone. And it takes a village to love someone. And here on this platform, we're all one big village. And we're here to support each other no matter what. So if we want to pass information, feel free to take notes. If you want to learn about different careers, feel free to take notes. Or even if you just want to hear a good old story. Something you could sit back, relax to while you're cooking, and you could just enjoy somebody's, moments in life, or even you could connect. Because listen, there's millions and billions of people in the world. But how many of us can connect? And that right there is the questions that we're going to look to answer on the Jess Takes a Village podcast. Thank you guys, and let's get on this journey together.